going rhetoric within government circles is that we've already seen the first covert military operation by the United States in Mexico.
U.S. officials say the CIA is flying covert drone missions into Mexico in order to spy on drug cartels. The missions come as the Trump administration moves to treat drug cartels as terrorist organizations.
If the cartels won't surrender or stop, then the next step is Trump will start to drop drones on them. And I fully expect that might happen.
Trump's secret war on the cartels has begun. Whispers of undercover operations by America's most elite forces, CIA and Delta Force, are spreading fear through cartel strongholds. Word on the street is that the U.S. Special Forces, the toughest of the tough, have gone deep undercover. Green Berets, Delta operators, and Navy SEALs are said to be infiltrating cartel ranks, using their lethal skills to gather intel and tear apart operations from the inside. The cartels, once untouchable, are now looking over their shoulders. Recent events hint at the impact of these rumored ghost warriors. High-profile arrests are piling up by the day. Powerful cartels are splintering, their members turning on each other in paranoia. As gunfire echoes through Mexican streets and bodies pile up, it looks like Trump's vision of sending tougher killers to assassinate drug kingpins has come into reality.
The line taken by Trump to Mexican drug cartels is correct and right. And basically what he's saying to these people is that you can be shot on sight. If we see you and decide to kill you, we will kill you. There's no doubt in my mind that if Trump were to feel the only way that the drug cartels could be taken out of American lands would be to attack Mexico and attack them in Mexico, then I think he would do that.
The war between the U.S. and the Mexican cartels is reaching a new, terrifying level, and a shocking secret is coming to light. U.S. Special Forces are already on the ground, infiltrating the cartels. Rumors claim that elite American soldiers are launching covert night raids deep inside cartel territory. Green Berets are said to be slipping across the border under the cover of the night. These ghost warriors, trained in unconventional warfare, are there for one reason: to wipe out the cartels permanently. Next, there's Delta Force, the absolute best of the best. Sources say they're working side by side. But the real nightmare is happening in the skies. Silent drones, run by the CIA, are always watching. The MQ-9 Reaper, a high-tech angel of death, hovers unseen, tracking cartel compounds, drug labs, and, some say, even taking out high-value targets with pinpoint precision. If you're a cartel leader, nowhere is safe.
The Pentagon has confirmed that the U.S. military flew at least 18 intel-gathering sorties using spy planes near Mexico in the last 2 weeks. The deployment of the spy aircraft and increased recon activity shows how the Trump administration is using the military at the southern border and beyond. At least 11 of the recent flights were conducted by the U.S. Navy's P-8 aircraft, which is popularly known as the submarine hunter for its superior radar systems that can track underwater activity. Meanwhile, the other flights were undertaken by the U-2 spy plane, which optimizes it in gathering high-quality images from extremely high altitudes. The flight paths released by the Pentagon revealed that these aircraft flew frequently along the U.S.-Mexico border from airfields in California, Arizona, and Texas, with one mission going deep into the Baja Peninsula.
And then there's the Invisible War, a unit so secret most people don't even know it exists. The U.S. Army's intelligence support activity. These guys specialize in intercepting communications, texts, calls, emails. Every move the cartels make, you can bet that the U.S. already knows about it. With every intercepted message and exposed safe house, these specialists lay the groundwork for the next phase of the war, penetrating the cartels from within.
What exactly is the intelligence support activity, commonly referred to as TFO, Task Force Orange, within the regiment? Guys, this is a Tier 1 intelligence gathering unit. The intelligence support activity, that is a Tier 1 unit within its own right. However, instead of conducting direct action like Delta Force does, these guys collect intelligence at the highest level.
Brute force alone won't win this war. The real battle is happening from the inside. Deep within the cartel's ranks, these special forces operatives work undercover, their true identities known only to a select few. They could pose as foot soldiers, recruiters, and even rival gang members, weaving a web of lies that allows them to gather priceless information. Their language skills and cultural knowledge are flawless, allowing them to blend in perfectly with the very criminals they hunt. These warriors sabotage cartel operations from within, drug shipments mysteriously vanishing or arriving worthless, weapons failing at crucial moments, and money disappearing without a trace.
I'm going to try to orchestrate, manipulate the environment to put me there, give me plausible cover for action, or cover for status to be there to talk to this person, right? And then I befriend them and I build rapport. And then I get that second meeting.
In the digital world, elite forces can hack into encrypted communications, plant viruses in cartel computer systems, and sow chaos in the dark web marketplaces where drugs and weapons are traded. No secret would be safe, no transaction truly secure, with America's cyber warriors on the hunt. Every keystroke, every message, every deal made is watched, manipulated, and controlled. On the ground, a network of informants feeds intelligence to these hidden operatives. Local civilians, cartel members, even corrupt cops are all potential sources. Special forces teams, masters of human intelligence, draw out information with a mix of charm, bribery, and, when necessary, fear. They weave webs of influence, carefully pulling strings from the darkness.
ISA human intelligence collectors gather information from human sources via coercion and interrogation depending on the asset. Their operators are masters of screening, tactical questioning, interrogation, and liaison operations, which enable them to collect the best intelligence possible. As for signals intelligence, ISA operators gather it primarily by intercepting enemy communications or sending an operator to physically bug a target.
This is a new kind of war, fought in the shadows and kept secret by both governments. But for those caught in its crossfire, the consequences are all too real. As the body count rises and the violence spreads, one thing becomes clear. The war on drugs isn't just evolving, it's becoming something far more dangerous, a battle that neither side can afford to lose. And on the front lines of this hidden war are the elite US Special Forces units, bringing serious skills to the fight. The Green Berets, experts in unconventional warfare, specialize in stealth infiltration. They're trained in high-altitude parachute jumps, building underground networks, and conducting sabotage missions behind enemy lines. What makes them particularly dangerous to the cartels is their ability to blend in thanks to their deep cultural knowledge and language skills. They don't just fight, they integrate, becoming a part of the very environment they're working to destroy. Delta Force, the Army's top-tier counterterrorism unit, is another force to be reckoned with. These operatives are trained for the highest-risk missions, working their best in close-quarters combat, hostage rescues, and high-value target eliminations. They operate in small, tight-knit teams, executing surgical strikes against cartel leadership, destroying operations one key figure at a time. Their skills allow them to plan and execute complex missions, making them a nightmare for any criminal organization.
They are the Army's Tier 1 Special Missions Unit, known as Delta Force, or simply the unit.
Yeah, they go by many names, all of them unofficial.
For those on the inside, it's just CAG, Combat Applications Group.
Because no one speaks of Delta Force officially.
And many who get there start here at Fort Benning, qualifying as Army Rangers. These are some of the toughest of the tough.
What you're doing is you're taking elite soldiers out of special forces and rangers, and you're training them to ridiculously high levels.
Then there are the Navy SEALs, masters of maritime warfare. These warriors specialize in combat swimming, going into underwater locations undetected, and scouting enemies from the sea. Their ability to strike from the sea makes them a massive threat to cartel operations along Mexico's big coastline. When the cartels think they're safe on the water, SEALs strike fast and hard, raiding hidden smuggling routes and destroying drug shipments before they ever hit U.S. soil.
You guys hear any whining? Get your hand off of your mask! Why are you quitting the exercise? Here! Feet out 6 inches, hands off of the mask! Why are you quitting the exercise? Do not throw up on my pool deck! Don't lean your head back, it gets worse! No big deal!
All these units share key traits that make them a lethal force against the cartels. They all have advanced survival and combat training, allowing them to operate undetected for long periods of time. They're lethal experts, masters outmaneuvering their enemies. Many of them even speak multiple languages fluently, further allowing them to blend into local communities without raising suspicion. Their hand-to-hand combat skills are also second to none, allowing them to operate without revealing their military backgrounds. Every movement, every tactic, every decision is calculated for maximum impact.
There's a lot that goes into looking like somebody or something. You have to assume everything. Well, we went to the point of what we ate. So if we were going to Cambodia, we ate differently than we did if we were going to Vietnam or to Thailand or Myanmar. We would eat sometimes for several weeks.
These elite warriors think outside the box, adapting to rapidly changing situations and using unorthodox tactics to complete their missions. If they're truly operating in Mexico, this signals a dramatic escalation in the war on drug cartels. This isn't just another crackdown. It's a full-scale war, fought by some of the most skilled fighters in the world. The cartels are now facing a level of expertise and firepower that far exceeds anything they've ever encountered before. And as this conflict continues to evolve, one thing is certain: this war is only just beginning.
The wrath of President Trump's going to come down.
Does that mean the military, our troops, U.S. military at the border with weapons, using weapons if need be?
They need to protect themselves. But the cartels, again, let me give the cartels a warning. If you harm a Border Patrol agent or a soldier, the whole world's going to come down to you. President Trump is a strong president. He is strong enough, and he has the ability to wipe them off the face of the earth. Now, that's the reason they were called terrorist organizations, designated terrorist organizations, because they've killed more Americans with their fentanyl and their drugs than any terrorist organization in the world. They are now designated terrorists. Do not harm our troops or President Trump, or bring hell rain down, and he has the ability to wipe them off the face of the earth. They can claim they're a pretty tough organization, the cartels, and they are, but they're not stronger than the power of President Trump.
What's more, recent events suggest that these operations are already reaping the rewards. On February 20th, 2025, the arrest of Jose Angel Canobio, known as El Guerrito, in Culiacan, sent shockwaves through the Sinaloa cartel. As the security chief for Ivan Archivaldo Guzman, the son of El Chapo, El Guerrito's capture suggests deep penetration into the cartel's inner circle. Just one day later, on February 21st, Mexican authorities captured 2 more high-ranking cartel members. Kevin Alonso, alias El Doscientos, was taken into custody in Culiacan, a man responsible for security and weapons acquisition for the Chapitos faction. These rapid precision strikes against key cartel figures hint at highly targeted operations, possibly carried out by deep cover operatives.
President Claudia Sheinbaum announcing 2 very important arrests today in the war against drugs, including a suspect referred to as the, quote, right-hand man to El Chapo's sons. This as the United States Department designates 6 Mexican cartels as global terrorist organizations. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says this classification will provide law enforcement additional tools to stop criminal activity by these groups.
Then, on February 27th, 2025, the unprecedented extradition of 29 cartel members to the U.S. took place. Among them was the infamous drug lord Rafael Caro Quintero. This massive, coordinated move, involving multiple cartels, signals a large-scale operation that may have been planned for months, if not years. The speed, accuracy, and coordination of these operations show something bigger is at play. The level of precision required to pull off such operations wouldn't be possible without deep infiltration of cartel networks. These aren't just lucky arrests, this is the work of trained professionals operating from the shadows. And if this is just the beginning, the cartel leaders still standing have every reason to be afraid.
And Mexico extradited 29 alleged drug traffickers to the United States as it faces mounting pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump to tackle drug smuggling. Several Mexican drug cartel kingpins, including the former leaders of ultra-violent Zetas cartel, Omer and Miguel Angel Trevino Morales, as well as veteran drug trafficker Rafael Caro Quintero, who is accused of murdering an undercover U.S. agent, were among those handed over.
These arrests aren't random. They're part of a bigger plan, with elite U.S. Special Forces reportedly running secret missions deep in cartel territory. The once invincible drug lords are facing a whole new kind of enemy, one they can't see, predict, or understand. These highly trained operatives, masters of stealth, intelligence gathering, and pinpoint attacks, might just be the key to finally breaking the cartel stronghold in Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's not a great day for the Sinaloa cartel, given what everything you just laid out there. I think these two men, while not household names in Mexico, certainly in the world in which they operate, they are certainly well known. One of them was a right-hand man to a faction of the Sinaloa cartel, their leadership. The other one, a security chief within that same faction. So it certainly will make an impact on that group's ability to do what they do, which is primarily fentanyl, extortion, and human smuggling.
As more high-profile arrests stack up and brutal internal conflicts tear apart once powerful empires, the effects of these secret missions are becoming impossible to ignore. Cartels that were used to fighting local cops and rival gangs now find themselves completely outmatched, struggling against an invisible force that's always one step ahead. With major cartels breaking apart into smaller, less organized factions, law enforcement on both sides of the border now has a massive opportunity. These weakened groups are easier to track, infiltrate, and ultimately destroy. The intelligence gathered through these covert missions could serve as a master plan for law enforcement, helping dismantle the entire cartel network piece by piece.
The Sinaloa cartel is disintegrating. They're at war with each other right now. You have a weakened cartel, and also you have now an adoption of new methodologies. Yesterday, there was a bunch of chatter about this U.S. spy plane flying over the Gulf of California. People are dumping communications and changing ways of communicating. People are researching what the people interacted when the U.S. went over there to invade. So people are actively trying to figure out how to get around the U.S.'s ability to listen.
And while the cartels might want to fight back, their options are limited. If they ramp up attacks on police or government officials, they'll only cause even harsher crackdowns. If they go after U.S. interests, they risk a devastating response they can't afford. The drug lords are now backed into a corner, facing an enemy they can't bribe, intimidate, or control. The war on drug trafficking is far from over, but these secret operations could be a serious game changer. By taking out top cartel leaders and turning their organizations against themselves, U.S. Special Forces could be setting the stage for a future where the cartels finally lose their grip on Mexico.
What I see is cartel forces and criminal groups basically adapting and shifting their footprint. You don't see a lot of online boasting anymore. Communications have shifted, and people are going underground and kind of in a wait-and-see pattern. And the whole notion of these large criminal organizations with these figureheads at the top I think it's going away. I mean, because some of these guys are basically going underground.
The empire of the cartels, built on fear, blood, and corruption, is under attack, and for the first time, they are the ones looking over their shoulders. What are your thoughts? Could these covert missions lead to an all-out war between the US and the cartels? What do you think the cartels will do next to fight back? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're always the first to know about the latest updates and insider cartel stories.